Hey gang, this is Vicki Kelly with the Golden Rule Trades. This weekend, I want to talk to you about something beyond the charts and indicators, something that might help give you a little bit of perspective. But I want to give you a disclaimer. The story I'm about to tell you is 100% true. I am not exaggerating any piece of it. So a couple years ago, I was driving home in our small town, and I passed the Dollar General, and I felt impressed to stop and buy a candy bar. Now, that was unusual because we don't usually bring sweets into the house. And even if we did, I'm not usually the one that stops and gets them. So I pulled into the Dollar General parking lot and I reached for, that cash that you keep in your console or in the armrest of your car. Well, I reached for my cash and got a couple dollars and I felt impressed again. Take more. There's somebody in the store who's going to need it because they're not going to have enough money to pay for their things. Well, that was specific. So I grabbed the rest of the cash that was in the console and I went inside. I picked up my husband's favorite candy bar, the one for me, of course, and I got in line and I started watching. Well, the older lady in front of me, she paid just fine. The man with the giant paper towels and toilet paper under his arm, well, he had his wallet. I thought maybe he wouldn't, but he did. And then came a couple kids who had clearly raided the candy aisle with piggy bank money. And as the cashier rang it up, let's just say it was $8. I don't remember the specific amount, but let's say it was $8. The kid's counting out his money and he realized he had a little extra. So he paused, he ran back to the dairy case and he grabbed some chocolate milk. He brought it back and he put it back where the cashier was. Once she rang it up, he didn't have enough. And you could see the look of disappointment on his face. He started looking at the candy, at the chocolate milk, trying to figure out what he'd have to put back. And that's when I stepped forward and I handed the cashier a couple dollars. He looked at me like, really? And I said, yep, enjoy your chocolate milk. So they grabbed their candy and they ran out of the store. I paid for mine and walked to my car. I was in my car. I felt impressed a third time. Think about everything that had to happen so that kid could have chocolate milk. Okay, so I did. I had to be driving by at exactly the right time. I had to feel prompted to stop and actually listen to it because let's admit, it was just a little strange. I had to take enough money because I generally don't walk around with cash in my hand. I had to listen. All of that had to line up for a child to be able to have chocolate milk. And then came the words. So what are you worried about? If the universe can conspire to get a kid some chocolate milk, what are you worried about? It reminded me of one of the ancient teachings of Jesus from something we call the Sermon on the Mount. He said, look at the birds. They don't just plant seeds and gather a harvest and put it into barns, yet heaven takes care of them. And this is the point. Aren't you worth much more than birds? Wow, I can take care of you. Now, I don't know who needs to hear this, and I know I'm running the risk of you thinking I'm a little woo-woo, but I can tell you this happened, and I am better off because it did. So whatever you're worried about, trading, money, provision, timing, remember this. If God can orchestrate chocolate milk for a child, I'm guessing there's nothing that God can't handle for you. So stay safe out there and good luck trading.